Man, we are having a good. This is going to be so fun.
You know what I mean?
Today.
I'm from the country.
Yeah.
We don't know about. What was that word you said?
Perpendicular.
Don't worry about that word, Robin. Listen,
yeah, it was also at 90 degrees. yeah.
But yeah, he had him off at the perpendicular angle.
Yeah.
And because of that, he was bringing him around to that heel hook position. He was going to put the grip in and be able to give some serious pressure. Because when the knee is bent, if you really want the violent pressure on the heel hook, you want that knee bent like that.
When you look at
it straightens, it gets harder to create. It still breaks, but it breaks way later in the process, and it usually takes like a ton of force.
When anybody looks at their own leg and then they think about turning it sideways, if you have even the slightest instinct of how the body is made, you know that there are tendons where the knee meets that are now being stretched into a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
And the body doesn't like to do that.
No, it doesn't. The knee is a small joint too. Those are small ligaments. It's not a big complex joint. It only works in a couple of ways. So if I can bend it in one of a variety of wrong directions, I'm going to put you in serious danger, and you're going to be forced to react or to go ahead and tap. And he chose to go ahead and tap.
Yeah, good for him.
Rather than react and put himself in a bad position where the true breaking pressure would have come from. That was a tapping pressure.
Yeah.
Some guys we'll see tonight, they don't stop at tapping pressure. And these guys are up-and-comers.
Yeah.
That was absolutely the right choice on his part. And it's exactly what I would have done as well.
And then the guys who are not up-and-comers but are professionals, it's hard to have your mind with the understanding, hey, wait, I got a match in 2 weeks. I got another match in 2 weeks. It's hard to be thinking of that when your instinct is just fight it, you know? And so, it's a dangerous sport, and it's in particular in these small areas where a ligament that your body relies on can be damaged with very little pressure.
Hey, man, this is going to be a crazy match right here. Are you kidding me? Deuce
Big
versus
Deuce.
Reggie.
Yeah.
These guys are animals. Wait till you guys see Deuce.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this dude.
He's a character, too.
And he's the former M1 global heavyweight champion.
So
he's not a joke.
No. You wait till you see the size of him. But
hey, I wonder if he's as big as the length of his intro right here.
Yeah. So the Deuce showed me he has a submission that he says he made up. He says he's only a blue belt, but he has a submission. And by the way, this is our first combat jiu-jitsu rule set. And of course it's heavyweights.
Man.
It's heavyweights with a former MMA world champion in a Russian league called M1. And so Deuce will be the quote MMA guy here. He has a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but he hasn't trained in the gi for many years. He has a submission he made up himself that he promises he's going to hit called Deuce's Grizzly.
What is Deuce's Grizzly?
So I'll show it to you later, but it's a weird face crush with your arm extended up top while he's crushing your face. He's made 3 people tap with it. Deuce's Grizzly.
Okay, we'll be on the watch
It's a shoulder
out.
crush and sort of choke and a smothering with a 300-pound man on your chest.
It's like an arm triangle position?
I'm about to show Brandon sitting here, and I'm like, it's like this, but you extend your arm sort of very, very high up, and he's doing something to grip and squash it across your face, and then applying pressure on the other side, and he essentially just smothers you to death. You'll like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's up your alley.
The sound of that. We call that mother's milk.
Well, once you see Deuce.
When you drown a guy right there.
Yeah. It's a particular pressure on you that he likes outside of just the mother's milk smother.
I'll tell you what.
Is he like in the building? Because
the Deuce is loose.
Yeah. The Deuce was at the we went to watch some bare knuckle boxing at the Hard Rock last night, and the Deuce was there. I don't know if he was.
I'm trying to see what they're talking to Reggie about.
Oh. I think they're saying, I'm not the best lip reader, but I think the words are the match is off. However, Steve Mowry is in the building. Steve Mowry is a Bellator undefeated heavyweight. Oh, there he is. There's Steve Mowry. Steve's coming up. So I invited Steve here, and
we're going to go ahead and get started with the Subversiv Combat Jiu-Jitsu Team Tournament.
Oh man, we're going straight into.
We're going straight into the team tournament. So we're going straight into the tournament. This is part of the flow and the fun and the improvisational nature of this. But so Steve Mowry walked out. He said, "I'll take it," because he told me he brought his gear. Because we had Mike trying to get him an opponent, and it fell through. So Steve said, "There's a bunch of heavyweights on the card.
No.
I'll take it." Mowry, I believe, is 10-0 in Bellator, and he's 6'8". So that could be cool. But yeah, I think instead we're jumping right into the team tournament. There's going to be some improvisational stuff we're going to do today. Part of the fun.
Yeah. So who's the first matchup then for this?
So Team
Viktor,
Biotech.
Pesta, and Pezutto, huh?
Team Biotech. You're going to hear us talk about the sponsors a lot, and it's not because somebody's paying us to do so or we've been instructed to do so. It's because the sponsors are a very big part of the community here. They're a very big part of how this happens. It's woven nicely into the features and the cultures of it. And BioPro, do you take that?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I've had decent results with it. I've definitely noticed like some effects on like how I feel and how, it hasn't been like, oh my God, I'm on the sauce now. But
they're not selling that.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But is it like? Yeah, I think it works.
People say it in the morning. That's where people say they've
take it under my tongue.
Yeah,
every
some
morning.
of the athletes have said.
So
a lot of people.
I'm always super skeptical about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you've
always
actually had.
I've had a good experience with it. Yeah.
So my friend Lee Meehan, Jordan Meehan was a Bellator and a UFC fighter. His father Lee, and Lee is just ripped at 50. And I asked him what it was, and he said it's BioPro. He did. And he said there's something about an antler in there or something, but extract from an antler, he swears by it. So BioPro Plus team.
Yeah, so we're coming out first.
So you might hear me because I'm going to take off my headset and ask Mowry if he's actually going to take that. Well, no, he's left now. We'll ask later. So BMAX set the table for us here. We got BioPro Plus.
Yeah, we got BioPro Plus over here on the left. He's in the white rash guard. That's Viktor Pesta. I'll let these guys introduce.
Yeah.
Let the announcer introduce them to you.
Matches will go for 6 minutes. At the end of 6 minutes, if there is no winner by submission, it will go to EBI overtime for up to 3 2-minute periods. The first team to win 2 out of 3 matches will advance to the next round. In the first round, all matches will take place. The winning team wins $25,000. Whenever you're ready.
All right, we'll get rolling. So this is, as we've been teeing up for the evening, jiu-jitsu with strikes. So open hand strikes, they begin Team Fivo and Team BioPro Plus. Again, we're gonna talk about the sponsors a lot because they're a big part of this community.
Boy, check that out.
Yeah,
Nice level
turns
change.
Yep.
And turn in the corner there and lock it on the body lock.
Now strikes are in play whenever one of you is grounded.
Yeah, as long as one guy is grounded, strikes are legal. But you see, he's opting to go. Pesta's going to opting to go with the body lock pass.
Commit both his hands to control rather than one hand to strike.
And you can see that that's helped to at least get a moment of back exposure. And here's another big moment.
Oh.
And now he can control him in striking. This is a position that really changes a lot when strikes are involved. And look at that heavy ride.
So, and you see,
boy, tries to grab you through. Kept the grip on the hips, busting it loose now, creating a sprawl. We're going to hold him.
Yeah.
We're going to hold him, Robin.
Yeah. You're going to hold him.
I was ready.
Yeah, you were. All right, single leg now reaches for the back hip.
Again, controlling that rear body. Like, look at him drag his body weight. See, he
Yes.
just sags that heavy weight down onto him. That was
So
awesome.
again, we'll look. 2 hands are being used for control now. When he had the back, use the rest of your body for control, and 1 hand, free the other and strike. And of course, what do you do when a man is striking you? You cover up, committing 1 or more arms to protecting yourself instead of to the grappling.
That's true, but you also notice when he chose to open up and start the striking, that's when the escape manifested itself.
Yeah.
And
We
so-
both have a committed arm. You're
Yes.
committed to defending. I'm committing to attacking.
That's right.
Yeah. So there's less points of control.
I can't base with something I'm using to strike, and I can't hold with something that I'm using to strike.
And what he's
And look at
chosen,
that one. He chooses to strike, and he's back to the feet.
He's back to the feet, but he's been able to get dominant positions and put some ringing in his ears.
Yeah, and I think he feels comfortable in the wrestling too. I mean, he's dominated it so far.
He's got his way forward, Vince.
So they're telling Vince, the corners very well, that Victor's weight is committed forward. So it's a nice time to use that movement. Brandon, you and I talk about pushing and the pulling and the resistance and the using of resistance a lot philosophically. You know? And
You got short time before they sit you, Vince. Let's make something happen here. Aggressive. So he stays up. Aggressive.
Oh, here he goes, changes levels, uses that shuck.
yeah, a little shuck by, but Vince was able to get towards the hips.
Yeah, and he's on the front headlock here, and he's trying to create pressure. See, he turns the corner. Very reminiscent of what Matt Hughes did to Almeida, if you recall
Yeah,
that,
100%.
over against the cage.
TP'd up his hips and choked him.
Turn that ear up and short drag that.
The difference is that the hips are not stuck on the cage here, and so it offers opportunity for defensive angle. And here we go. That was a big play by Pezutto.
Yeah.
He needed that.
Yeah, he sure did.
He
He did a really nice job control the tricep and turning into it.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And
Just
not
a
easy.
little simple drag.
Yeah. Yeah, that was as much attributes as skills. Team Fivo, Vince, BioProTech, Victor.
Again, Fivo sponsoring a lot of these guys out of
Yes.
the B team, and now Pezutto makes his move, and check it out, heavy on that hip.
Yeah, turning onto the left hip and then sitting.
And he had to pull him backwards. He had to basically pull him on
Yeah.
top of him and then kick his hips out from underneath him in order to get him to the ground. Pesta was doing a good job of keeping his base in balance there.
It's really good work by
So he
Victor.
just kicked the chair legs out from underneath him.
You got 240 to work.
So some great cornering, seeing a lot back here, and then telling him he's got 240. 240 is a long time when you're on top.
Oh, yeah. Big posture, big
Well, we've got a second shout out to Fivo, the first social checkout for the world's best brands, bringing friends together around the brands they love. Team Fivo.
You send one. There we go. Higher. Hard piece. Let's go. And we posture and go.
Well, look at that. Pezutto goes to throw a hand, and he allows the inside space. He didn't even get the hand off. He just opened the space, and then the knee slides into the inside space.
Right, as the right arm extends back, the shoulder and the upper chest goes with it, and that space is now available.
It changes what's available for the top guy when there's also the threat of submission. If it was a fight where they were going to strike on the feet, or where one guy wanted to get back to his feet, that threat of the strike would have opened to the guard and allowed a stand-up. But they want to fight on the ground.
They want to fight on the ground.
And so that closes down some of his guard passing potential. Look at this decent angle here. Just didn't have a good trap on the elbow. Hips were just a tad late.
That little touch to the face, it doesn't look like much to people, either of those two, but they can cause a reaction. There's one on the ear, right? They can cause a reaction, or even just sort of get in the way of your cognitive function for 2 seconds, 1 second. That's valuable.
Yeah, the word you use, distraction, that's exactly what most of these things, most of the jiu-jitsu guys are going to, theirs are going to be distractions. We're going to see some of these MMA guys looking to throw more than just distractions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know I'm biased. Steve Mowry's my friend, but when he comes running out here holding a plastic bag with his shorts in it, I'm like, this is exactly what Subversiv is.
And here we go. Gets his posture back, and now he's going to
Yes, a great
excellent
just.
work. And you know what? Pesta was coming on strong to start this thing, and he was really leading the dance. But Pezutto has really taken control of this match now.
Just a little Torianda, like just sort of a gentle pass. Like,
Man, he worked his way to the top position, and he's been able to use this top position to just inch his way forward. And now he's in the side control. He's clear of the guard. He's just been peppering him, little baby strikes.
That arm's coming free. That arm's starting to come free.
He's going to try to go knee on belly right here, I think, the way he was angling his hips. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah,
in
he's
mind,
sneaking it up in there.
submission-wise.
But he threatened a little, putting his ear to the tricep to imply I had an arm. Like he's shown him a few little tests.
Yeah, he's not going to have time to really put together a submission, though. We're right here at the end. This is the right
But he should be
choice.
able to win from here, from this position, you would think.
I feel like Pezutto took control of that match and won it.
Yeah.
But we're going to EBI overtime, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So tell us what the objectives are here in our 3-minute overtime.
So each guy, it's like the innings in baseball. Each guy is going to get 2 minutes to work from either the back position or the arm lock position. If there's a submission, we stop the clock and the other guy has to submit him faster. If they both get submissions in their period of the overtime, then whoever got the faster submission wins. If nobody gets a submission in any of the 3 overtime periods, then we go to who had the most ride time.
Mm-hmm.
You could think of it as who escaped the fastest.
And two, yeah, that's a good way to put it. And
Look at this crank
right
across
on the
face,
face.
right on the bridge of the nose, and he's out. So he's out of the overtime position.
Yes.
In a match, he's just mounted.
Right.
But he's made the position change without getting submitted. He's out in this rule set.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. It's not necessarily perfect. There's nothing. Yeah. All right. Left hand is sneaking over to the right shoulder.
And that was about 30 seconds of ride time for Pesta. Pezutto controlling here. He's locked on that body triangle. It is on the bottom side. That can create discomfort for some guys. But usually, as you start moving to this level of competition, where you're
a little discomfort
on the stage playing for 25,000. I've never actually at that level seen anybody have much trouble getting leg locked in that position.
Yeah.
But it is possible, especially if you're at home training.
Oh yeah.
You're a dad training twice a week and you're just trying to lose some weight. That can hurt, Dave.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm that guy. This is a crank.
Yeah,
on the
real.
face, man.
It's a tough crank too. You can see.
He's starting to hip in.
Yeah. He got him. Once from the position where normally the right ear would be, instead the nose and the eyes are over there. That's when the spine is being contorted in a way it doesn't want to win to go. That's a great win.
And that radius bone is just digging in across the soft tissue in your face.